everybody, and welcome to the Clean Bold podcast with me, Sab, for this big bumper episode where we preview the first semi-final of the Men's T20 World Cup between South Africa and New Zealand. Yeah, what a game this is set out to be. We are down to just 4 teams now. We're going to preview both the semi-finals. Before we get into it, guys, make sure you like this video, give it a share, and do click that subscribe button because we've got some great content coming up. Obviously, we're going to be previewing the other semi-final, but also much more cricket content coming your way. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our great content coming your way. Just a quick note from me, guys. Unfortunately, Kieran is not able to make this video, so just me today. So unfortunately, this semi-final is going to be a little bit shorter than our India-England semi-final preview, where I've got a special guest with me. So yeah, it's nothing to do with like favoritism or anything, although it might seem that way. Genuinely isn't. It's just because, I'm doing this on my own, so it's just going to be much more shorter because you don't want to hear me talk for half an hour, bore you all to tears. So just going to get through this one, but there will be a special guest for my India versus England preview match. So South Africa, New Zealand, let's get into it. So this is all about 2 teams, 2 histories, but one big reputation because we've got South Africa, New Zealand. When it comes to these ICC semi-finals, both of these carry scars. South Africa have lived with that word for decades, or rather they've lived with one word for decades: choke. It's, not a nice word, but it is the word that has followed them around for the last few competitions. And they've been unable to shed that tag as of now. But they have found themselves the only undefeated team in the competition. But can they finally get rid of that C word that dogs them the whole way, wherever they go? New Zealand, they're really much the ultimate nearly men of world cricket. They're consistent, always there. They'll always make the semi-final. They even make a lot of finals. But how many ICC trophies do they actually have to show for it? I think 1 Champions Trophy, and obviously the World Test Championship in 2021. But that is it. And so this really is more than just a semi-final. So let's start with South Africa. Proteas, they have controlled the tournament. They've looked in control this entire tournament. As I said, they're the only undefeated team in the competition. They have not been flashy, not really risky. Okay, they had that one risky game against Afghanistan where they scraped through after 2 super overs. Since then, they've been ruthless. They've been efficient. They've been clinical. They dispatched and crushed India, the defending champions, in their own backyard, which not many teams have ever done, really. So their power plays have been strong. They've batted well. They've rotated the strike well. Their death bowling has been composed. Their front bowling has been composed and brilliant. And look, they haven't relied on just one superstar or one player to get them through. They've got so much balance to their team. This has been a collective. They've been the most balanced team in the competition. Bowlers are executing the plans. Batters are pacing innings properly. The fielding intensity has been high. They've been a brilliant fielding team. Their catching efficiency is very high. They defended totals well. They've chased with ease. Look at the way they chased down that score against the West Indies. They've been serene. So surely something has to give. I don't know. Group stages and Super 8s are different beasts. When you get to a semi-final, the tempo changes. The pressure ranks up. And for South Africa, it's really one thing. It's ultimately themselves. That mental weight will creep in. Look, all these modern-day sportsmen, they've got psychologists with them. They do their preparation properly. This is a different South Africa. They have won the World Test Championship. So they have got to rely on one thing. But I think, are there still scars from the past when it comes to white ball cricket? A lot of these players will have grown up watching their heroes collapse in semi-finals. So does that get into them? Do they think about it? Are they talking about it? Even the mere mention of it might spread, and if one person panics, there's another brother. I don't know. I'm not a professional athlete. I know that's hard to tell by looking at me, but that is. It's hard to know really what goes into the mindset. They will do their preparation properly. Clearly, they've prepared fantastically in every game so far. You just wonder what kind of doubts creep in at this stage. Now let's look at New Zealand. They've done what New Zealand always do. They quietly go about their business, very understated, no drama, no over-celebration, just tactical cricket. Nothing spectacular, I might add. But they build pressure with the ball. They field well. They trust their structure. Obviously, they're a very small country with a small populace, but they always find the right personnel to help them get over in certain matches and help them deliver and help them get to semi-finals and finals. Historically, they're one of the most consistent knockout sides of world cricket, multiple semi-finals across the last decade, final appearances as well, but they have not always finished the job. 2015 ODI final, they lost. 2019 ODI final, they lost on a boundary countback, but they did lose. 2021 T20 final, they lost, and they have made numerous semi-final appearances in between there. So they get there, but they just can't get over the line. South Africa hold a slight historical edge overall. So the contests are usually quite tight between these teams. Neither team has dominated in the rivalry in World Cups. Most of these games are decided in small moments, fine margins. And that's pretty much what you expect in a semi-final. Tactically, this is a fascinating battle. As you said with South Africa, they've got such a balanced team. Quinton de Kock, Aiden Markram, we've said it's probably the best opening combination in the competition, and it's proved to be. How good have they been so far? Quinton de Kock has been a bit up and down, but the captain, Aiden Markram, has been serene. He's been fantastic. That innings against West Indies just sort of summed up the form he's in at the minute. He's very technically very good, as Kieran spoke about. So again, that says they've got so much stability. So if they get off to a fly and they bat first or even bat second, it's going to be very difficult to stop them because this team knows how to win. They've got depth in their batting. And I think overall they're probably the stronger team. Throughout their team, you've got Rickleton, you've got Brevis, you've got Jansen, and obviously David Miller, of course, as well. But then you look at the bowling, Rabada, Ngidi, Maharaj, Jansen. They've got it's everywhere. They've got all bases covered. They're going to be so hard to stop in this game, but also in this competition. There's no wonder why they haven't lost a game yet, because they don't look like anyone can stop them. So where does this come to? Something is going to have to give between these two teams. I think South Africa will win. But I won't be surprised if New Zealand win. And I know that's a very flaky answer. It's a very on the fence answer, but it's actually hard to call when you really break it down. But I think ultimately South Africa, they've got this far without losing a game. They look strong, and I think they're probably the stronger team. I think South Africa I think this could be a nail biter. I wouldn't even be surprised if this went to super over. New Zealand will fight, and they will fight all the way, but ultimately I think South Africa's quality will just edge it for them, because, as I said, they have all bases covered. They've got technical brilliance in Markram at the start with that flashy swashbuckling style of Quinton de Kock, but then it's just one after the other. If you get one out, okay, Rickleton, and then they've got Brevis, and then they've got Miller, and then they've got Jansen. So it's just a conveyor belt of, power and precision. And I'm not sure New Zealand's bowling attack is up to scratch in terms of, really putting a dent in the South African team to restrict them to a score. Look, stranger things have happened. Rachin Ravindra, if he gets turning on this wicket, you never know what could happen. Daryl Mitchell, Santner, if the spinners, they get going, can they restrict South Africa to a low, modest total? New Zealand will hope so. I do think New Zealand have got a good batting lineup, so they might hope to bat first and get a big total over 200 and then hope that they can chase it, defend it rather. But I just think no matter what position South Africa are in, they're going to end up winning. They've just got the better team, and this is a different South Africa. They're resilient. They know how to win. They're hungry. They want to put things right, and they've looked ruthless from ball one. So, yeah, for me, I think South Africa are going to win. But, I'll also be looking at New Zealand and, hoping that they put in some fight and, they may cause, and it's a quote unquote upset. It's not a real life upset in the sense. It's not a massive upset. But I think they're coming into this the underdogs, which does suit them. But let's see what happens, guys. What do you think? Comment in the section below. South Africa or New Zealand? Who comes out on top? Who makes it to the final? against either India or England. Let's see. Yeah, this has just been a short one, guys. We wish we could have done more analysis, but Kieran would have been good for all of that. So we'll do just a short video today, but we'll have a proper final preview and, of course, a live stream. How exciting! Another live stream on the final on Sunday. But yeah, comment with your thoughts. Who's going to win? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a like, a share, and a subscribe. And we will see you next time.